Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today it is unboxing time. We are going to open the Blood Angels Combat Patrol, we are going to check the instructions and we are going to see all the bits inside. Usually when I do an unboxing I also like to assemble the miniatures because I think that is much nicer because we can see the final result. But with this specific Combat Patrol I think that I want to do each unit individually because I think that is going to be much better and less messy. Okay, so here we have a closer look of the box, Blood Angels Combat Patrol, and we have 2 units of Sanguinary Guard, 10 Assault Intercessors and then 1 Blood Angels Captain. That means that we have 17 Citadel miniatures inside of this box. Inside of this box we have pure infantry, so of course it doesn't feel super big, but I have to admit that it feels like it's packed with plastic. Here we have a look at the back of the box, and as always we have scale 1-1 of all the miniatures inside of this box. We have here the 10 Assault Intercessors, we have here the Blood Angels Captain, and here we have 3 Sanguinary Guards, but of course we have 2 times this unit, so in total we have 6. And aside from that, I have to say that inside of this box there's 2 Blood Angels upgrades. Thanks to those upgrades we are going to be able to make these units look like Blood Angels. And not only the miniatures inside of this box, we can also use those upgrades to make other units look like proper Blood Angels and even some vehicles. So of course it's always a nice addition if we want to start a Blood Angels army. Okay, so here we have the instructions, here we have all the miniatures. Let's first take a look at the instructions and then we can check all the bits. This is the first thing that we see when we open the instructions, and this is something that we're going to see a lot because for these specific instructions we have like the proper Combat Patrol assembling, like the one that has the weapons that appear on the profile for Combat Patrol games, and then we have like the alternative assemblies that we can use for regular games of Warhammer 40k. Then this is funny because except for the Captain, every single sprue in this box is duplicated. Here we have some painted Blood Angels, and here they are telling us the paints that they recommend, so of course this is up to you. I'm going to paint them in a slightly different way, but of course, as I said, this is like the official art is using these paints. We're going to start with the Captain, and look at this. I love what I'm seeing here. I really like when we have like a lot of different options for generic characters. In this case we have like a generic Blood Angels Captain, and we have like a lot of weapon options. We have like a lot of different customization choices to make here, and I really like that. As you can see here, the body is going to be exactly the same regardless of the choices that we want to make. The body is like that, but here is where the magic begins, because for example we can give him the power fist. He's going to have like this pose for the arm, but then if we want to give him a sword, it doesn't matter if it's a chain sword or a power sword. We have like 2 different choices for the pose of the arm because we are just gluing the hand to it, and I think that that's great. It's the same with the pistol. We have like 2 different poses. He can be either shooting or like in a more relaxed way, and I like that too. And we have 3 different head options and 3 different options for this specific shoulder pad. We can have like the one with the Blood Angel symbol, or we have these 2 that they look a little bit more fancy. So that's great. And then of course I really like this picture because when I look at this Captain and this one, they feel totally different to me, and I like that. I really like this kind of details, and I'm happy that, for example, if 2 different persons get this Combat Patrol, the Captains can look completely different. And then we continue with Assault Intercessors, that as well we have like a lot of different weapon options here, but in this case all of them are for the Sergeant. Still, it's really nice that we have all of these weapon options inside of the sprue. You can see here the instructions to build 5 of the Assault Intercessors, but as I mentioned, it's a duplicated sprue, so here we have how to build 5 of them, and then we have to do each body twice. So we're going to have all of these bodies duplicated. It's not bad, it's okay, because first of all, for the Sergeant of the squad we have a lot of different choices, and that's great. And then for the rest of the miniatures, as you can see, we have like some unique choices. Like for example, we can have one with grenades, we can have like reloading the pistol, and then we have this for every single body, like every single chainsword on every single heavy ball pistol is going to fit nicely. So we can just choose the ones that we like the most, and thanks to this we can make 10 completely different Assault Intercessors. And here we already can see some extras, because here we have like how to build those specific choices that we mentioned. But here we can start to see like the specific Blood Angels upgrades that we can see with the sculpted symbols. That's great. And also, for example, this specific head, or all these items, they are specific for this upgrade sprue. So yes, everything here is regular for the Assault Intercessors. Every single chapter has access, but this is more like Blood Angels unique thing, and that's great. Here we can see 5 of those models assembled, and then we can proceed with the Sanguinary Guard. In this case, we're in a similar situation, because here we have a Sanguinary Guard 2 times, so we are going to have to do this 2 times, because of course we have 2 units. And as well, we have like the recommended assemblings for the Combat Patrol games, and we have like the ones that we can choose if we want. And yes, we have like the similar issue as well, that we are going to have each body duplicated. So we will try it with the arms to make them slightly different. As I mentioned, once we have this specific body, we are going to try to make it slightly different. But for example, we only have 1 pose for this specific weapon, and then we can have like the Inferno pistol for one of them, so maybe that can help. But there's not many choices. For every miniature in this squad, we're going to have 2 head options. That's good. And aside from that, as you can see here, we have like 1 specific sword that fits here. But then we have another extra arm that here we can choose the hand, and then we're going to decide if to have a sword or a spear. But the pose is going to be the same. It's just that we are changing the weapon. So for example, if we want to have all of them with spears, this is going to be the pose. It's just that we're going to be able maybe to move a little bit the arms. But aside from that, I'm a little bit sad, because the pose is going to be almost exactly the same, just slightly different, and that makes me a little bit sad, because this is like this should be a super unique and iconic unit. So well, when I will be assembling the miniatures, we will discuss that more, but for now I'm not super happy. Then we have the second body here. In this case, they are only telling us to use the specific weapon only, like the shooting pose, and then we have only this arm. So with that, we can have 2 poses. We can have the sword, or we can have the spear, or we can have the banner. If we have the spear, he's going to have like this nice pose, like he's about to throw the spear and also shooting, which is great. And if not, we can have him with the banner. I like the banner, so I'm a little bit sad, because these are like my 2 favorite poses. So I will be a little bit sad to having to choose between one of them. And then we have the third body. They only give us this option for the arm, but maybe we can change the arm with the other models and it should look good. I will have to check that. But as I can see here, we are going to have the specific hand with a spear or with a sword. So as I said, 2 poses. And that makes me a little bit worried, because what if I want to have all the miniatures with swords? That means that I will have this specific miniature 2 times with the same sword. I'm not sure how to feel about that. Anyway, I like the instructions a lot, because I think that they are quite straightforward, lots of options. I think that I like a lot what I see here. But once I assemble these miniatures, we are going to be able to check together how they feel and how they look. So of course, make sure to subscribe. And now let's leave the instructions on the side. Let's focus into the plastic. Let's start with the captain, and at the moment of making this video, I have to say that this is a super recent miniature. This is very, very new. It surprises me a little bit, because it's just a single small sprue, but there's like a huge quantity of options. Here we can see the nice Blood Angel sword. I like that we have like the drop of blood there, that's great. And here we have the chain sword, that also looks great, because we have the same thing here. And also with the power fist, which is great. I mean, I like that, for example, if we want to have a specific loadout for this captain, then we can use the extra weapons for other miniatures. That's great, and I really like that. And yes, as I said, we have like a nice amount of detail. It looks really great. Here we have the Inferno pistol. We have 3 different shoulder pads. One of them with the sculpted symbol, and this one, as you can see, we are going to be able to attach either this or this, which is also great. I like that. And then we have a really beautiful cape and 3 different head options that we are going to check right now, that we have right here. as usual, helmet and helmeted, but in this specific case we also have like this beautiful head for the Blood Angels, which is great. And aside from that, not much else to say about this sprue. This is what we have from this side, and this is what we get from this other side. Let's continue with the Blood Angel upgrades, and as you can see we have 2 of them, which is great. I really like that, so we can focus into one, but have in mind that there's 2 of them. This is also a very recent sprue at the time of making this video, same date as the Captain, and for me the most important is that here we have a lot of sculpted shoulder pads. And the good thing is that we have them for every single type of power armor that we have in game for Space Marines. Here we have for the Terminators, here we have for Gravis armor, Tacticus armor, Phobos armor, as you can see here with the different type of the shoulder pads. And for some of them we even have like specific for the Sergeant ones. So for example, here we have 5 shoulder pads for the Tacticus Marines, but we also have 1 extra for a Sergeant in case that we want to do it. Then we have nice decoration, typical of the Blood Angels. For the regular Space Marines we have vehicle markings here. We can also have more vehicle markings there. These 2 are for the regular Space Marines to have on the back, which is great as well. And then here we have some weapons. We have an extra power sword for the Terminators. We have a specific chain sword for the Blood Angels with a nice combination of things here. Like for example here as well we can see like a really nice Blood Angel sword. And yes, it looks nice, I have to say. We have an Inferno pistol and we have the Eviscerator that looks great. Here we have the specific arms for it, and here we have a specific chest for the Terminators as well, specific head for Terminators, another one here, and then we have some crazy looking heads for the Death Company, a nice shield for the Blood Angels, and I have to say that I like this a lot because we have like a lot of different nice cute options and things, and I like this type of things because thanks to that we can turn every Space Marine into a proper looking Blood Angel. It is a time to start talking about the Sanguinary Guard, and here we have 3 of them and 3 of them. So these sprues are duplicated, so we can just take a look at one of them, having in mind that everything that you will see here, there's 2 times that. Again, these ones are very recent miniatures at the moment of making this video, which is great. They are very new, and as always the amount of detail is fascinating. I cannot wait to start assembling these miniatures because here they look like the same size of the Intercessors, but on the website they look like very chunky. So I really would like to see how they look once they are assembled. And here we have, for example, one of the torsos of them. I like the sculpts, I think that they look very beautiful. And I like this base, I never noticed, but it's like very interesting. Yes, really interesting, I have to say. Here we have like a very beautiful, nice big sword. I like how the swords look. And well, I'm not going to talk about the wings because there's a lot of opinions for that. But well, Commander Dante has something like that, so it makes sense that these ones will also have something similar. But the previous vibe of these miniatures was much nicer with those majestic angelical wings. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about that, I'm just going to talk about what is here. Here we have one of the weapons for them. I guess that there's like an extra bit over there to add it to this specific arm. And here we have the spears that they look very nice. I like that there's like these blood drops everywhere. And oh, here we have one of the, well, the only Inferno pistol that we're going to get into this specific unit of 3. But well, it is what it is. And now I would like to take a look at the heads. And well, in this case I'm okay with this one actually, but I really prefer the proper helmets with the crowns. I think that I like a little bit more the one of the Captain because I think that it looks more menacing. But well, I cannot wait to see how this one will look in the proper miniature. And this is some kind of a Sergeant type, even if right now in the data of the unit there's no Sergeant. Here we have like one specific head that looks more veteran or majestic, and then we have like the regular normal ones. I think that these heads could be a little bit more beautiful, let's say. I expect beautiful from the Blood Angels, but well, this is the first sprue that we get. And here we have the other 2 members of the squad, and we have some nice extra details here. Like for example, we have this specific spear that is the one that we're going to attach this banner. Right now in game you can have the banner plus the sword. I don't know how to do that, it's going to be interesting, but anyway, here we have like the way of attaching it to the spear. And I don't think that it looks that bad, especially if we have in mind that this is supposed to be something like a cavalry unit will wear. So I'm okay with this specific banner. I like how it looks, and I also like a lot the torsos. I think that they are like very beautiful sculpts, and yes, it's totally like how I imagine the Sanguinary Guard. This is something that I like a lot. Here we have again the wings that I'm not going to talk about. And yes, I also like that there's like a lot of purity seals and things going around them, because of course this is supposed to be the most elite unit in the Blood Angels, so that's great. More purity seals, more things going on. I like that. I like also the specific bases. I really like how they look. It's kind of Roman ruins, so that's great. And basically this is the Sanguinary Guard for now. Before I forget, these are the transfers that we're going to get inside of this box. It's like a really big one, and yes, you can take a closer look if you want. You can stop it here, but basically we have Blood Angels, and then we have for some successor chapters, which is great as well. But yes, this is it. And finally we have the Assault Intercessors. Same again. We have 5 here and 5 here, so let's take a look at one of them and have in mind that everything that you will see here, it is duplicated. These 2 sprues will allow us to build 5 Assault Intercessors, and here we have the 5 bags that we can have for them. But even if the bodies are going to be duplicated, as I mentioned earlier, here we have like different chain swords with different poses, and the same with the heavy ball pistols. We have them with different poses, like more relaxed shooting pose, another one with a more relaxed pose. Then we can have one of them throwing grenades, and with grenades in the other hand. We can have like a reloading the pistol, we can have with a knife, and then we can even have the swords and pistols for the waist, so that's good. We have different choices. And with the sergeant we have like even more choices. Here we have plasma pistol, pyre pistol, power sword, thunder hammer, and then we have the power fist as well. So it's good, we have like a lot of different options. So even if these 5 are going to be duplicated again, we can make 5 that will look completely different. Here we have the shoulder pads for them, but as we mentioned, we have the upgrade sprues for the Blood Angels, so we can have the sculpted shoulder pads, which is going to look nicer. And here we have the helmets for them. We can turn this to see them nicely. As usual, we have regular helmets, one helmet for the sergeant, and then we have like a lot of different unhelmeted heads in case that we want to give them like a more unique vibe. We have some shields to add some heraldry to them, and then we have like a lot of decorations, purity seals, and for example things like knives, holster. So as I said, it's quite easy to make them look different. And to finish with the contents, we have 40mm bases for the Sanguinary Guard and the Captain, and then 32mm bases for the Assault Intercessors. Since the moment that this combat patrol was announced, I liked it a lot. I like it, and I mentioned that in my first impressions video, so I knew that at some point I was going to get this specific combat patrol. I would like to have like a very small Blood Angels force, because like this, I mean, I want to continue painting a lot of Black Templars, but of course it's a little bit tiring to do a similar color scheme all the time in my Space Marines, so I wanted to change a little and have like a small Blood Angel force. And for this specific combat patrol, my plans is that there's 2 units of Sanguinary Guard. I really wanted to check these miniatures, I really wanted to know how they are going to feel. So of course I would like to make a video assembling them and sharing my first impressions on how they feel. But with one of the units I would like to have them with full spears, and then I would like to have the other one with full swords, because like that we can check both weapon options for all of them and try to see how different they are going to be. So it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward into that. Then here we have 10 Assault Intercessors. My plan is to have 5 of them as regular Blood Angels, Assault Intercessors, And with the other 5, I'm planning to do them as Death Company Intercessors, because like that they are going to be different, it's going to be cool, and I'm going to be able to use the extra bits from the upgrade sprues, like the Eviscerator or the Inferno Pistol. I'm going to be able to use those, it's going to look fun, and I'm happy about that, because like that we are going to have like a lot of variety with this specific box. And then finally we have the Captain. Probably I will ask you to vote about how he's going to look, because we have like the gold power armor, the red power armor, so for sure I think that I will ask you. I'm a little bit more into the golden one, because like that I think that he's going to pop out much more, but still I think that I will ask you anyway. And with all of that being said, this is the end of the video, because I don't want to make it any longer. As I said, there's going to be more content related to this combat patrol, so of course, as always, if you are still here, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.